The issue is pretty simple in my opinion, and that is that civil liberties are very important in this country. The Constitution is very important in this country, but so is our security. So when we move forward, I think when it comes to the government agencies, you can trust, but you need to verify what they're doing is right. And I know they've said over and over again, we're just looking at numbers, we're not reading any emails, we're not doing any of that. Well, we need to make sure that never gets going if we stay where we're at, that's for sure. And, you know, they track the numbers, and I don't know what metrics they're using, but if a number appears, and then it appears in another database, and they can match those up, and pretty soon they've got an idea if somebody's up to mischief. But the bottom line is we need to make sure that there's no mischief on our end either. And if anything good came out of the Snowden thing, and there's a lot of bad that came out of the Snowden thing, it's the fact that at least we're talking about this stuff now.
Do you think there will be some sort of legislation requiring some sort of more reporting of this to Congress, or putting more parameters?
I've got legislation right now, myself and Claire McCaskill and others. And it basically has three parts to it. There's a revolving fund of $1 billion that they utilize to do these background checks. That fund has never been audited, and the reason it hasn't been audited is because the Office of Personnel Management has said, the lawyer said you can't use that money for auditing. Well, we've got a bill that's going to say you can use that money for auditing. What's that do? It's more than just auditing. You get to determine what kind of time they're taking, what they're doing, how many people they're because this is all contracted information. So that's one part of it. Second part of it is there's 5 million people.
I'm sorry, this is background checks for people who work for NSA?
For every agency in the government.
Oh, okay.
Whether you're in the military, whether you're in USDA, wherever you're at, background checks for everybody. And it's all contracted out. It's all done. There's the one that does 40% of the background checks is right now they're in court, and yet they continue to do background checks. Okay, so the auditing is one part. Second thing is there's 5 million people that have security clearances. 1.4 million, I believe, have top secret security clearances. There is no. Every agency's got their own rules as far as what constitutes for a security clearance, and we are, and we've got to work on this some more because there's some issues we got to get ironed out. But we're in process of setting some parameters on what would constitute a security clearance. The third thing is that if you have a contractor that has falsified information or has screwed up, they're fired. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Seems pretty common sense, but that's not the way it is now. I think that's a pretty good motivator to make sure they do a good job. And as we've looked at everybody trying to hack into our systems, I don't think we've paid near enough attention, if any at all, at people who are in the system that might want us to do harm, like Snowden did. And that's what these two things are going to help hopefully rectify.